So I'm meeting Cedric at the house to talk about the new episode for this week's Cedric and Brian. I'm going to spring it on him, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to talk about divorce.
I want a divorce.
I think he's here now.
What did you say?
I want a divorce.
What's up, buddy? Ready for this week's episode?
Yes, sir. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Let's do this, man.
Brought up to see if we talk about divorce this episode.
Are you serious?
That might be primarily me, considering you're not divorced.
I want a divorce.
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 I want a divorce. I want a divorce.
I want a divorce.
I want a divorce. We usually want a divorce.
I want a divorce.
Me too.
I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian. And this is Cedric and Brian.
So it would only be appropriate in order to talk about the divorce, you need to precede that and talk about how it all started. And it started with most of you with meeting her. When I served on the student government at this college, I went to my first student government meeting, and we were in a small little room in the dorm there, in the dorm rooms. And I remember seeing her, and it was, you get the butterflies. You know, I looked at her and I saw her thinking, okay. The administrators had brought in pizza and stuff, and in true Cedric fashion, I spilled pizza on my white t-shirt because I know how to make a good first impression. The fact that she fell for that. And so we met, and I looked at her, and she was just, I think I knew right then and there, I'm like, I'm gonna make this woman my wife.
Wow.
I think I knew right then and there that very first day.
I have a question for you, because I didn't know Cedric at this point. So back then, were you wearing the Coke bottle glasses? Were you still the Urkelish?
I was starting to grow. I was a little Urkelish.
Hello, Snuggle Buns.
Hello, Turtle Toes.
All right, so you saw this girl across the room and you spilled pizza on yourself. So
Spilled pizza on myself, and she had a lot of what I would call like just down-home values. Very quiet, very reserved, and what's the other terms that kids use nowadays? I saw wifey immediately. I'm like, I'm gonna wife this one up.
am I correct? Was she a preacher's daughter?
Yes.
Ah.
Yes. She was a pastor's daughter and everything. She had a lot of intangibles and things that I just really felt attracted to, and we started dating. And then as things started to progress, I think right after my senior year, I took her to a small little water park that had a little water next to it, and I remember I proposed to her that day, and she said yes, and I was overjoyed, and we planned our wedding. We got married at my home church in Los Angeles. It was awesome, and then we began our life together. Getting married in 90. In 92, we gave birth to our twin daughters. She was and is to this day an incredible, awesome mom. I would be so remiss if I'll forget. We also had our son in 96. I always forget him when we talk about these things. I love you. I love you, son.
On the outside, you were the perfect little family with the twin girls and the little boy, but you're saying that it wasn't all bliss and romance at that point, or was it still good?
It was still good.
Okay.
And that's you touched on a key word right there. Things were good, and I was content with that. And again, I'm not preaching to anybody out there, but to men out there, especially if you're listening and this can help you out, I was content with the marriage being good because there was no quote unquote red flags indicating that things aren't working out so well and things aren't as blissful as I thought or as other people thought. One thing that I have to admit, and again, this is my story, and so I have to tell it from my perspective, is that being a male, my ego played a big part in things that I did, and so I wanted to look like that hero to my wife and stuff. So there were things that I neglected to tell her or inform about when it came down to finances. Stop me if you've heard this story before. If I've learned anything from all this, is that you're either going to argue about what you're going through, or you're going to argue about the fact that you lied about what you were going through.
How long before you divorced were things starting to get bad? Years, months?
Maybe a few years, but again, things were good, Brian. Except for the fact that I allowed my ego and my lack of communication and total 100% honesty to eat away at her. I was hurt. I'm thinking, wow, a woman does not want to be with me. This sucks. This hurt. So feeling alone, and the ego took a bruising and stuff. I wasn't even looking to date, and I met a.
Hold on. Don't jump into
Am
that.
I jumping too much?
Leading into what ended up being his second marriage was somebody that pursued you, correct?
Yeah, it was mutual. We had known each other.
But from what I remember, she reached out to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's all I'm leaving at. I'll let him tell the rest of the story. But
It was just so awesome. It was so refreshing. It was so cool to be with someone who was into me. Just caught up in the whirlwind of it. Had a ton of fun. Go on these weekend getaways to Vegas and up to Sacramento and bought a racehorse together and things like that. And things were fun and things were exciting and it was new and I got caught up in it because we had a great time together. I think we broke up maybe 2 or 3 times, actually, which is that should have been a red flag.
But there was one particular time where I thought you guys were broken up.
Yes, the part that Brian is talking about is that we had broken up and we reconciled quickly. And not only did we reconcile, we made the decision to go to Las Vegas and get married.
They'd gone through their final breakup. They weren't going to be together anymore, now they're married. It was a very big surprise to me, and we were somebody who, at this point, had known each other 14 years, 15, whatever year that was. So it was a shock. I know it's not my life, but it was. And then because after that wedding, how long did the marriage last?
8 months.
And this I think, is a red flag, and not just as a marriage, because I've gone through relationships like this too. If you're in a relationship and all of a sudden all of your friends have been replaced by other friends and you don't really see your original friends anymore, there's some kind of controlling factor going on in your life.
I agree.
Because where are all those friends that you had when you were married to your second wife?
I don't know any of them.
Yeah, and I understand that. You get consumed in a relationship, and that's totally normal. There's a fine line about getting wrapped up in somebody you love and losing yourself. And I think for a little while you lost yourself.
Yeah.
You did become a different person.
Yeah, I did. I was trying to fill a hole in my life, and people aren't designed to do that. I'm not going to get into a whole lot of details about that, but if you're looking to another individual to fill a gaping hole in your life, you're looking in the wrong area. I don't know if this video helped you or not. Some of the stuff I tried to get into detail without getting into too much detail, if that makes any sense. But I know that divorce is an all-time high, runs rampant through all races and all economic levels. And if my little story, my little tidbit, 6, 8, 10 minutes, how much editing this guy does, he puts out there, helps any of you, that's great.
So you don't need this?
Learn to laugh at your mistakes, and again, I need to say this: don't let your mistakes encompass other people, because other people get hurt in the process, and that's something that I have to deal with and learn to move on from.
But more importantly, we want you to like, subscribe, and
ring the bell. Just not the wedding bell, if it
Yes.
isn't appropriate. Like, subscribe, and ring in some other bell, cowbell, whatever.
more cowbell.
Wow. But until next time, again, leave anything in the comments that you want to leave. We're glad you guys checked in. We appreciate you. And until next time, I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah. Okay, hold on.
Oops.
So make sure
going
you're
too much?
only looking at that camera.
Which one?
Don't look at the lower one.
Okay. All right.
You're already rambling.
Quick. Okay.
The universe found out that he was no longer married. He had no shortage.
Deserve happiness. Why are you laughing at me?
But all Cedric,
But I have fun with you.
But all Cedric's.
I'll never marry you.
You brought up Get Out.
I'm trying to be an open book. I'm trying to be vulnerable. And for those of you who know me on a personal level, if you want to go out and buy me a beer, I encourage that deeply. Brian, you complete me.
Any girls out there who want to like a big tall piece of chocolate?
There's so much editing that's going to be done.
Sorry,
in this video.
German chocolate.
Oh my. You can joke around with it. It seems to give you a lot of pleasure.
But he's sad for a different reason. I don't think it's a melancholy sadness with that one.
It's a wallet thing. But